Okay, let me recap another time. Okay, so we have our food.js document. It's pretty new. What we did is we created our new food object, and this stores the x and y coordinates of our food. And you see that this is also aligning with whatever we used in draw food, where we use food.y and food.x, which is how we access the x and y coordinate or x and y values of an object. We also created this new function called update food, which if the food is on the snake, then we'll grow the snake because the snake ate it, and it will also change the food to be at a different position. Now, these functions we have not written. Instead, we'll have Leo write them for us, and then we'll just continue on coding as if they were already written. Okay. So we'll go to our terminal. We will do the git reset -- hard. And then we will git checkout step 4. Now, if you go onto your top left, there are a bunch of icons, and the one that's most commonly used is the Explorer, where you can see all of your file names and directories. So we see over here, there's a snake utils now. Let me hide this. And we see that the on snake, thankfully, Leo has already written it. He's also written a bunch of helper functions, the grow snake, get new food position, and so on. So this is all found in snake utils. And so now, if we look at our browser and refresh, we should be able to eat the snake. I mean, no, not eat the food. And it should be able to update into a new food position, and my snake grows by 1. But now we have this weird thing where, oh, we can go down and the game still continues, or go down to the boundaries. And that's not what we want. Instead, we want the game to end if we ever hit a boundary. And also if we ever intersect ourselves. So that's what we're going to do right now. So in game.js, this is where all of the game logic is held. We see that we have our draw function, which we call in our main function. So main has update and draw, and we are repeating this many, many times, like Leo had said. And now we want to add a game over condition. So the easiest way to go about this is to have a game over variable. And we'll initially set it to false, because when we start the game, it is not yet over. Okay. So then in our main loop, we are going to check this condition. So if the game is over, what we want to do is we want to stop the game and let the player know that the game is over. So what we will use here is something that we discussed in our JavaScript lecture called alert. So this will bring up a pop-up that says whatever you want to put in it. So for now, we're going to use the alert function to say game over. Okay, and after that, we want to make sure that the game stops. And how we do that is we can go back to our set interval function. And in our JavaScript lecture, we talked about how set interval can actually return an interval ID, for which we can then put into this function called clear interval in order to make sure that the loop stops. So we're going to just store this into a variable called game loop. And then we're going to use game loop over here in our if condition to clear the interval. the interval. And so if our variable game over is ever true, then we'll be able to end the game by using clear interval. Now, what this does is currently nothing because we haven't changed game over yet. There is no way to change game over based off of what we have written so far. And so right now, we'll work on being able to change game over. So checking whether the snake intersects itself or goes outside of the boundaries. Okay. So in our update, we also want to update the variable called game over. And we can just use a function that we don't have to write right now, but we'll just say that it is called isGameOver. And it will return true if the game is over and false if not. Okay. And now we can write the game over function on the bottom here. So we can say const over. Okay. And over here, we said that the game is over either when the snake intersects itself or if it's out of bounds. So we will do an or of these two things. So these two are functions that we also have not yet written. Snake out of bounds should return true if it is out of bounds. Snake intersect itself would return true if it has intersected itself. And we just want either of these to happen. So we'll take the or, which is denoted by these two long bars, should be on the right of your keyboard. And that's the or operator. And so now, like before, let's say that I'm really busy these days and I really am in a time crunch and I don't really want to write these functions right now or ever. So I'm gonna hit up my boy Leo here, and he's going to do everything really fast like he's done before, just like a great old pal would do. And he's gonna write these functions for me. And I did him a good job because I gave him good function names and everything looks pretty understandable. So he's gonna thank me for that.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay, so now let's go get reset --hard. And then we're going to go get checkouts w1 complete. And once you guys are done with that, you can go see if Leo has actually done his work. So snake out of bounds. Let's see. Wow. You did pretty well.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Leo has done a good job, didn't procrastinate, and actually was faster than usual. And he wrote snake out of bounds and snake intersects itself, or intersect self, and snake utils. And also, just as an aside, it's useful to make sure that your functions are in the right files, so that, if I'm trying to find snake intersect itself, I'll primarily look at snake utils because I think that it is a util for snake. So just make things easier to locate for your partner in the future. Okay, so now I have everything. I have the game over condition, I have food, and I have my snake. So let's try to run this on our browser again. Let's see if oh no, Okay. Oh, okay. Well, I lost, but I was supposed to show you more than that. But this is also good. So it says game over because I went out of bounds, which is true. But I'll play again to show you all of the functionality. So if I eat the food, I grow by 1, and the food changes position all the time. Well, I guess I can show you if I intersect myself. Okay, good. I also end the game if I intersect myself. And those are the only 2 conditions for if I lose the game. So everything's pretty much satisfied. I have the food moving, I have the snake growing, I also have the game ending. So this is basically our snake game. So congrats, you guys. You guys have coded up everything except for everything that Leo has coded up. And you've been able to make a snake game by yourself with Leo.
Yeah.
That wraps up our JavaScript lecture, and later on we'll be talking about React.js, which is going to be really cool and might get you kickstarted on your new project, possibly.